Okay, it's like 11 o'clock at night on December 17th, and we're filming. So if the lighting is terrible, I apologize. We are just gonna have to roll with it because this was the only time that I had today to film. Also, just another note, I promise you guys I have more clothes than just this hoodie. It's cold and windy, and this hoodie is the most comfortable thing. So it gets washed quite frequently and worn quite frequently. But that's not what this video is about. So, okay, so about like a week ago or so, like not that long ago, I put out a video like help me decide pan that palette 2020, and I got so many good responses, and I appreciate the outpour of like support and comments and suggestions on that. Like everyone was so helpful. So like if you go through and like read the comments and like what people like wanted to see, essentially the thing that won out was like the baby pan that palette with like the roulette eyeshadows added into it. And when I thought about it, I was like, you know, that would be maybe fun, but maybe not. So I still wanted to, I guess, make videos that you guys would think are interesting. So at the beginning of this year, I actually tried the roulette pan those eyeshadows, and I absolutely hated it. Did not like it. But I want to try to do it again because in 2020, my goal is to hit pan on more eyeshadows than I did this year, and to actually complete shadows and, you know, bring that percentage up. So I think that one of the best ways to accomplish that is to do roulette pan those eyeshadows and a pan that palette. So that's what this video is. I'm just gonna go ahead and start roulette pan those eyeshadows, like round 2 for me, because I want to do that project and not really have like an end date with it, just, you know, continuously roll in random shades. So I am going to, for myself, I think that the best way to make this project work is I'm going to randomly select a palette from my collection. I have everything like laid out in a list from all of my like standard palettes to, you know, one option is like a Steel of Glitter, you know, Steel of Glitters, or like ColourPop Super Shock shadows, or like the loose pigments that I have in my collection. So where was I going with that? Okay, so I am going to randomly select, you know, something from the category. There's 33 categories, so that's all my palettes and all of my like singles and things like that. So we're going to randomly select that, and then I'm going to pick 4 numbers, which will give me 4 palettes essentially. And then I will decide on what shade I would like to work on. So I know that isn't totally like roulette or random, but I think that's the best way to tackle this project and make it work for me, because look, I'm sure that we all follow Emily and Max here on YouTube. Emily, hello, if you're there. Lord bless her, she panned that pink eyeshadow in the dead of fall. Like, I don't know how she did that. And I don't want that for myself. So that's why I'm going to pick what shades I want to work on. But I do have some like rules within that. So I will never pick a like cream, like what I use to set down my eye primer, like a shade like that, because I can roll through and finish those on my own. Like, I don't need those randomly drawn into this project. And also, I will not just always pick like the neutral shades. You know, I want to go out of my comfort zone. So like if we get a palette that has some like fun, interesting colors, and, you know, we're still in winter, so let's say there's like a blue shadow in it, then yeah, let's go for the blue. Let's go for that green, that purple, that whatever. Like, I'm not always going to play it safe with this. So I hope that it's still like fun and exciting for you guys to watch. Like, I'm really excited about this. And then the other reason that I wanted to pick the shades myself is because I am going to do a pan that palette starting January 2020. So I want to make sure that I'm picking shades that I can use like in conjunction with that palette, and so that I can still make good progress on everything. So that is a very long-winded explanation, but let's just get right into it. So I already have Pretty Random pulled up on here on my phone, and we will randomize it together. So again, I have 1 through 33 on here, and you know it gives you 49 as like the first option. So we get 28, we get, oops, 3. And I know some people like shake their phone, but look, it doesn't work for me to shake it. So we have to hit the button. 32 and 16. Okay, so 28, 3, 32, and 16. Those are our 4 palettes. So what I'm going to do is jump off of here and go see what those numbers correlate to within my little like notepad that I have written down, and I will be right back to show you guys, and we will pick out the shadows together, okay? Okay, so that's like, it's a lot harder to pick out what shades to pan when you're doing it. So anyway, I will show you the 4 shades that, or the 4 palettes that we have drawn, and then we will talk about what shades we are going to try to work on hitting pan. So yeah, let's just get into it. So number 28, my family does not live near me, so they have already started like sending in Christmas gifts, and they've told me like, hey, we sent you makeup, please open that to make sure that it's not broke. So I've already gotten like some Christmas presents, and I'm very thankful for them. And one of them that I received was the Naked Honey palette. So this is like brand new. I'm really excited that I like drew this, because this gives me a great, you know, excuse to like break into this palette and not feel like guilty about it. So I'm sure you've all seen it, but here's what it looks like. And I know it's a neutral palette. I have a lot of neutral palettes. That's just who I am. But the shade that I want to go for in this palette is the bright yellow honey shade. I really want to try to hit pan on that. I just think it's going to be so much fun, so interesting. It is like a unique shade. So here it is swatched out for you. Oh, that is just so pretty. Okay, so there's our first shade, Honey, from the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. So the second number we got was number 3. So I have this little 6-pan palette from McGrath Labs. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. It's just 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. And I'm sorry, I have the sleeve with the names. So shade number 5, which is Listen. It's this one right here is the one that we're gonna go with. It's like a good like purpley like rose gold shade. I just think that it'll be really pretty for this time of year. It's dark, so it's not one that you would want to like wear in the springtime. But there it is. It's really gorgeous though. Like I'm excited to bust this out and play with it. So there's number 2. The other good thing is both of the, obviously the Urban Decay Naked Honey doesn't have much use because it's new to my collection, but the McGrath Labs one doesn't have that much use on it either. So I'm really excited to pull that one in. So the next number was 32. So that was actually the category that corresponded to my ColourPop Super Shock shadows. So I have a few of those already like in various project pans. So I don't want to have any overlap if I can help it. So I kind of knew right away which shade I was going to pick, and it's the shade So Quiche from them. I love this shade. I absolutely love it. How many times have I worn it? 3 times. And it's so pretty. I love it, and it's the perfect time of year to pull it out because again, it's like a super dark shade. It is out of my comfort zone. I think it's gorgeous, but it's going to be challenging to like come up with a look to, you know, have this on. So it's almost like a taupey kind of green silver, and then it has like purple glitters in it. I don't know how well you can tell that on camera, but it is really pretty in person. And so yeah, I figured this is great. I've been looking for an excuse to use this shade more often, so what better time than to pull it in to roulette pan those eyeshadows. I think I'm just gonna call it pan those eyeshadows. Anyway, so our last number is number 16, and that corresponded to ColourPop Sweet Talk palette. So here is what it looks like on the inside. There's a lot of prettiness going on here. This is obviously like a more springtime kind of palette that it feels like to me. So I was kind of torn between 2 shades. This one up here, Work It, which is just like a matte mustardy, like yellow brown. And then the shade, well, it's In Case You Missed It, but abbreviated out. So those two were the ones that I'm torn with. I'm still kind of torn with them. I think Work It is like the more safe shade that I could go with. Like that one I look at and I'm like, that would be so easy. And again, I do still want this to be challenging. So I think I'm going to go with the In Case You Missed It shade. So that is the only matte shade that we are currently working on, and that's fine with me. So it's like this red, brown, pink, maybe not brown. It's definitely like almost like a brick red color. It's very pretty. It doesn't necessarily go with these shades, but I really think that it will go well with some of the shades that are going to be in my 2020 Pan That palette. So stay tuned for that video. But yeah, so here is our little quad that we will be working on to hit pan. I am so excited. I really hope that you guys are excited to to join in with me on this journey. If I could like speak English, that would help. But that's it. That is all that I have for this video, short and sweet. And so I am filming this on December 17th. Hopefully my plan is to always film my update like around the 17th of the month, and then hopefully I could have the video uploaded in like the 3rd week of the month. And so we'll do monthly updates once we hit pan. Oh, that was another thing I was going to English. That was another thing I was going to say, was that some of the shades that we roll in, I might decide to just finish them off completely. Like I do have some of the Lorac palettes, and so obviously like their pans are smaller than some other pans that are like in other eyeshadows. So like just for argument's sake, if we rolled in a Lorac palette, then a shade from there I might decide to not only hit pan on it, but to finish it off completely. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But as far as this first round of shades go, it's just to hit pan, not to finish any of them off. And so here is one final last look at them. So excited. And I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope that you're having a good day or good night or good morning or wherever you're at. And yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.